As life somewhat returns to normal, I guess, in the world of Dragon Ball Super, Goku and Vegeta's development continues in epic fashion. With the Earth now out of harm's way once again, the Z Fighters look forward towards a new era of peace in the near future, ushered in by the gods, and of course, Ultra Instinct Goku. As the next arc of Dragon Ball Super is delivered to us alongside new characters and hopefully a plethora of new powers and abilities, Super has kind of gotten to the point now where the spin-offs are so inevitable that it's kind of hard to keep up with everything that's happening and the lore behind everything transpiring. As Dragon Ball Super follows its own trend, another story is transpiring as well in another timeline. This is an original fan-made story by Ashan called Dragon Ball Super Sarani, and it's definitely been quite a while since we revisited this story, but thanks to Ashan, the happenings following the next in line for God of Destruction are here once again. The Tournament of Power ended in an epic fashion with the final battle between Goku, Frieza, and Jiren. However, 17's wish is what really stole the show in my opinion, restoring all of the erased universes. This is really where this story begins, as a matter of fact, as a result of Android 17's wish. Sidra and Ro, the God of Destruction, and Supreme Kai of Universe 9 respectively, have also been restored thanks to 17's wish. However, Universe 9 has had its own issues even before the Tournament of Power. According to the Grand Priest in the first chapter of Dragon Ball Super Sarani, Universe 9 had a notoriously low mortal level which had previously been brought up to them beforehand. However, since being erased and restored, they seem to have kind of forgotten about this. As the Grand Priest pays them yet another visit, he doesn't hesitate at all to remind them of their duties and how Universe 9 is still kinda lacking. This is when the Grand Priest offers them but a limited amount of time, around 90 ticks or so, in order to raise the mortal level of their universe by even half if they can, or they'll both risk being replaced. This sends both Sidra and Ro into a panic as they become angry over the hasty decision of the Grand Priest, and instead of doing an honest job in the eyes of the gods, Sidra and Ro devise a plan to instead get rid of their potential replacement. It's somewhere around this point that we learn that the next candidate for God of Destruction, however, is none other than Frieza. Now, this doesn't really change too much for the gods, of course. However, in order to keep their hands clean of the situation entirely, Sidra and Ro decide that it would be much smarter for an outside party to be the one to take out Frieza. This is when the perfect candidate for the job comes to mind as the two weigh their options. However, Universe 14 has the perfect warrior for this. This is when Sidra and Ro take it upon themselves to reach out to the God of Destruction of Universe 14 and specifically ask for someone named Kane. As we later find out, Kane is none other than the son of Hit, the legendary assassin from Universe 6, and right away he's contracted to get rid of Frieza in Universe 7 before his training to become a God of Destruction is complete. In the meantime, Goku and Vegeta have taken not only Goten and Trunks, but Piccolo as well to the realm of the gods to continue their training, and so far, Goten and Trunks have successfully mastered their Super Saiyan forms and even achieved Super Saiyan 2. Elsewhere in Universe 7, however, a legendary battle is moments from being underway as Kane has successfully located Frieza and infiltrated his ship. This battle is then moved outside the ship to the endless vacuum of space as Kane wastes no time in showing Frieza his full power. Frieza is immediately taken aback at the pressure from Kane's power as Kane mocks him, but Frieza quickly reassures him that he misunderstands by transforming into his golden form. This is when Frieza decides that it would be best suited for them to battle on a nearby planet, so he leads Kane to a deserted wasteland, but this all seems to be a part of his plan as well. Once the fight resumes, Kane immediately charges Frieza mercilessly, but Frieza, at the pinnacle of his power as well, deflects his time skip somehow. Even though Frieza learned how to successfully fight against this technique in the Tournament of Power, Kane powers through, showing that there's much more to him than just the time skip, which eventually forces Frieza to reveal his secret move, the Hakai. But this is when Kane, harnessing a power no one thought possible, deflects the very energy of destruction that has been talked up for the entirety of Super pretty much in a fantastic fashion, stunning Frieza that another mortal like this even exists. As Kane comes to terms with the true consequences of this battle, he realizes that he only has about a 50% chance at this, so his only option is to use that technique. If you guys want to check out Dragon Ball Super Samadhi for yourselves, Ashan's Twitter as well as the links to the current chapter will be linked down below in the description box, so be sure to go check it out, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to have those notifications turned on to never miss an upload as soon as they go live. And if you have been enjoying all of the anime content recently, consider leaving a like on this video as well. Be sure to follow on both Twitch and Twitter to stay up with me and all anime related content, guys. But without further ado, with Frieza and Kane now back at a stalemate after the energy of destruction was nullified, Kane taunts Frieza about looking so stunned. "I'm surprised that you're familiar with the Hakai," Frieza replies. "It seems I underestimated you in that area." "It seems so, Frieza," he replies, "just as you countered my time skip." "So are you a candidate for God of Destruction yourself?" Frieza asks. Kane, however, tells him that it's not his wish to become one in the slightest, so therefore, his answer is no. "Well, I'm glad I stumbled upon you then," Frieza says ecstatically. "Now I can test the fruits of my training with the gods." A short silence falls over the battlefield as round 2 looks to start. The two warriors charge at each other again, but something is different this time. Kane lands a solid hit on Frieza and sends him flying into the ground where he crashes into the earth surprisingly. Now is Kane's chance to do some actual damage to Frieza as he thinks to himself, "All I need is for Frieza to stay in that one spot, just a little while for that technique to work." As he floats over Frieza preparing his next attack, Frieza is cemented into the ground as he curses Kane, saying that he didn't think he'd use his time skip again after he counted it right before this. Kane begins to raise his power level again, but this time, the concentration seems to be on improving his abilities. All of a sudden, he darts at an ultra high speed towards Frieza, but he doesn't attack him right away. Instead, Kane begins moving around Frieza in a cube-like pattern, leaving Frieza confused and wondering just what his next move is. This is when Kane begins firing Ki Blasts at Frieza as he continues moving around in this cube-like formation. He continues firing Ki Blasts all around Frieza as he thinks this should keep him busy for a while within this place while I cover all sides of this cube 8 times around him. Whatever Kane is planning, at least at the moment, seems to resemble some type of sealing technique, and since he's battling by himself, he's also got to restrain Frieza while he prepares whatever this is. Frieza continues getting absolutely pelted by all of these attacks as even in his perfected golden form, Kane, son of Hit, is an insanely powerful opponent. "This is so annoying," Frieza says as his patience begins to run thin. "How long is he going to keep this up for? These are heavy blasts and I can't get out into the open without getting hit from at least a few of these." Meanwhile, as all this is taking place, back on Beerus' planet, Goku, Vegeta, and the others are still hard at work with their training, but they still haven't forgotten about feeling Frieza's power and another chilling power earlier with him there as well. "Kakarot, I think we should go and have a look into what Frieza is up to," Vegeta says to Goku. "It's starting to bother me a bit now." "I thought you said not to bother with it anymore, Vegeta," Goku replies, but Vegeta has changed his mind now as he says that he's curious about this other person who is seemingly just as strong as Frieza. If this other person would turn out to be some sort of a threat, we should find out before something big happens, he says. Well, when put like that, Goku definitely agrees as he asks Piccolo if he wants to come along as well, but of course Piccolo denies, saying that he'd probably just get in their way. Overhearing the adults' conversation, Goten and Trunks rush over as well, wanting to come along, but Vegeta forbids them, saying it's far too dangerous for them to fight Frieza right now, much less someone as strong as him as well. "You haven't even covered the basics of your training with Whis here," Vegeta says, "so focus on that right now." Now, Whis says after seeing the boys bummed out, "I'm sure once you're strong enough, they'll be happy to take you along." Before you go, however, Whis warns them, "I want to let you know that Frieza has actually been training with the God of Destruction of Universe 3 for the past 6 months, so you should be cautious as you go there." Dropping this bombshell as casually as possible does little to soften the blow as Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo almost lose it that something like this is even possible. How did Frieza get to train with the gods in Universe 3, Vegeta demands, and how did he even manage to get there in the first place? Well, Whis continues, He asked me if I could train him as a candidate for God of Destruction, but Beerus refused for him to be trained by me. He then asked if I could ask one of the other gods if someone was willing to train him, and Mule from Universe 3 agreed to it. "This is absurd," Vegeta says as he goes off. "What could Frieza's motive to be God of Destruction possibly be?" "Well, I didn't really ask him that," Reese says, "but it is surprising for someone like him to consider this position." "If you really think about it," Goku says, wondering, "this job is actually perfect for someone like Frieza." "When you're a God of Destruction," Reese says, "you aren't permitted to kill for fun. Rather, you destroy the ones who cause trouble in your universe that decreases the mortal level of that universe. Or in other cases, someone who threatens the existence of a God of Destruction." Indeed, Goku, you are right about that, but only in certain aspects. Frieza is someone who is evil and kills for fun. There are some other cases as well where a God of Destruction can kill mortals as they please, but the ones that I mentioned are the main reasons. This aside, he continues, if the Omni King or Grand Priest finds out that a God of Destruction has turned evil, they're sent to the prison of the gods where they're tortured by a godly fire that burns but doesn't kill for all of eternity. Same as the punishment for a God of Destruction or Kaioshin who are removed from their positions. "Whoa, being a God of Destruction is no joke," Goku says, laughing, to which Vegeta agrees. But after hearing all of this, he says, it is without a doubt that this just isn't a job for someone like Frieza. He would be forced to keep balance, and that isn't like him at all. "This only means one thing," he says. "Frieza is plotting something big here, and it would definitely be against us since we're the ones he has the most bad blood with." Piccolo agrees with him at this point, saying that Frieza is the type to only do things that benefit him, and he's definitely up to something here. "Well, I guess we have to go find out then," Vegeta says, as the two prepare for instant transmission, and in the blink of an eye, the two Saiyans arrive at the battlefield on the desolate planet only inhabited by Kane and Frieza. This takes both of them off guard as their battle comes to an immediate halt upon the arrival of Goku and Vegeta. "What are these monkeys doing here?" Frieza thinks to himself, being completely taken off guard now. "Oh, but wait, I could use this to my advantage." Kane obviously has never seen the two of them before, so he assumes that maybe they're allies of Frieza, to which Frieza denies, of course. Now, an eerie silence befalls the battlefield once again as the three-way battle between Goku and Vegeta, Golden Frieza, and Kane the son of Hit is about to be underway in the next chapter of Dragon Ball Super Sarani.